We just installed this small fish pond. It is very affordable in terms of starting small to scale up. And this one, I will break down the cost for you, and also I will let you know what you expect to get within a year. But before then, we are just about to stock the juveniles. So let's go through how we stock them, and then we proceed to the cost breakdown and the expected outcome of that. Now, uh, before then, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. And let's update this. Isa, all we're doing this channel to share fish farming tips based on our experience and research. And if you're intending to learn more about fish farming, then subscribing to this channel is the best decision to make. What you see me holding in this rubber are the fingerlings we are going to stock. We kept them simple because the journey to this farm wasn't far, so we didn't have small container, so we just kept them in this polythene bag, so they will not be stressed much, and we have to stock them. And like I always say, it is not ideal to come and pour the fingerlings or the juveniles or the seed fish into the water just like that. You need to acclimatize them. So since I kept the rubber inside this water, and it has been there for a while now. So the acclimatization simple means that you put the container or any item carrying the fish into the pond so that the water will neutralize, because the temperature of the water that brings the fish and the water that is in the pond are never the same, or the parameters are never the same. So immediately pouring them in there can cause shocks and possibly lead to mortality. But if you acclimatize them, put them there for a while, then when it neutralizes, make a way so that the fish themselves will swim into the main water. Yes, and don't pour them in. They will swim there. As you can see what I'm doing, I'm paving a way for them, for themselves to swim in. So as they are going, they are adjusting themselves into the parameters of the water. So now, when you do that, they swim inside, then they will be good to go. So that's what we do. And when you stock them, I do always say, remember not to feed them until the following day, because they are stressed up. So since they are stressed up, feeding them will not be ideal. As you can see, a lot of them have already swim into the water, and they are still going inside. So we will not feed them today until tomorrow. When they are not stressed, then we give them little feed to observe how they go. Now, having stocked them, let's come to this small little farm. This farm, we call this tank IBC tank. Most people just call it the white tank. It's IBC tanks, and they are made to carry some heavy chemicals in for other purposes, but also used for fish farming. The most difficult thing of this is that if you're going to use the new brown one, you need to wash it thoroughly and cure it before you can. But when it comes to the cost, depending on the location, this tank costs somewhere 1,500, 1,600 within Tamale. That's what I can see, because that's what I do know. It varies across the country or different parts of the world, because I know majority of my viewers are not even from Ghana, so I will not limit it to Ghana. So just find out the price whatever you are, but it's somewhere 1,500. So let's take it that way. We just stock 100 fingerlings into this tank, and that's the best and ideal number. You shouldn't stock above that. Why? Because if you look at this tank, it carries or it can take 1,000 liters of water, and we use 10 liters of water to raise fish from fingerling stage to maturity. That's 1 kilogram. Meaning 1,000 liters of water can raise 100 fish. And also, when we are fetching in water, water doesn't fill to the brim. So it means that the water that it will contain will not even be up to 1,000. So it means that stocking the fish more than even 100, you are overstocking them. When they are still fingerlings, they will have space, but the moment they grow, they will not have space. So take note of that. Now, having gotten this, the fingerlings or the juveniles, one is 2 Ghana cedis. So that is 200 Ghana cedis. So add that to the 1,500, and that is 1,700. Now, if your intention is just to keep it this way and constantly change the water for them to grow, you are done, solid. The only thing you need is just get your small fittings, pipes, and connect your outlet, and that's all. Even sometimes those tanks still has outlet that you can even rely on, so no additional cost. Fine. However, you need to know that you have to constantly change the water, especially when they are growing and are producing more waste. Every 2-3 days, you have to change the water, and that is also costly. Now, that means 1,700, you can set up this at home. But if you also want to enjoy the water parameters where you will not be changing the water all the time, then it comes to installing RAS or filtration system into that. And that's where the cost comes. In fact, the filtration system alone costs more than setting up this entire farm I mentioned earlier. Depending on your location and the cost of the items, but averagely, we charge 3,000 Ghana cedis to set up the RAS. Now, when we are setting up the RAS, I always recommend you have the 500 capacity pond or above, because considering the cost of the RAS, you just started it with something small like this. If you compare the cost, you think that it is higher. And if you think so, you are right, because you are looking at how much it even costs you to set up the farm, and oil filtration to cost you more than that. But that also will help you not to change the water, and that will also help the fish to be growing because they will be healthy. Now, having looked at that, what is your expected outcome? Before you go there, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you need our service, contact us, and then we get it done for you. Now, if you stock fingerling like this, look, no matter how experienced you are likely to get some mortality. It is not, I can't even say, I can't even say it is not impossible to raise the fish to fingerlings without, to raise the fish to maturity without encountering mortality. You surely get mortality. So let's assume that you are able to do your homework very well, and at the end, you have 90% survival rate, or you have 10% mortality rate, meaning out of the 100, 10 will be gone. And it means that you are going to have 90 fish left. Let's assume so. If you raise them to 5 to 1 kilogram, depending on the location, 1 kilogram sometimes costs 40 Ghana cedis to 50 Ghana cedis. So we'll pick the lowest one, 40 Ghana cedis. So if you calculate 90, you have 90 pieces times, let's assume it's 40. So you are going to get 3,600 Ghana cedis. Now this 3,600 Ghana cedis is for one harvest. And within a year, if it is catfish and they grow very well, you are likely to have 2 cycle production. Because within 6 months, you should hit 1 kilogram. So let's say within the year, you are likely to have 2 cycles. So if you multiply 3,600 by 2, it means that within the year, you can make 7,200 Ghana cedis. Now, and remember, the first harvest, the cost of production is high because of the initial setup. But for the second harvest, you now have your system in place. So all you need is to buy your items. That is, get your juveniles again and come and stock. And what is also most important here is also feed. It's also feed. You need to buy feed. You are likely to use about 5 bags of feed to raise them to maturity. So let's assume you are using 5 bags. So 5 bags, and right now the cost depends on the brand, but one of them is 340 Ghana cedis. So if you multiply that by 5, you are going to spend 1,700 in feed. So if you take 1,700 in feed from our harvest, which is 3,600, then you are going to have 1,900. So assuming you have this, and then within the year, at least you can get something. But if you want to make more profits in this, it means that getting a bigger pond to have more fish to sell is the best way to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you have found value in the video, please share, comment, let me know where you're watching from and your thought about setting up this small tank. And if you're interested in our service, contact us. And if you also want to learn how to build your own fish farm, your own flotation and everything, we have our master class in the description. Check it out. Enroll in the online course and we shall learn and grow our fish together. We strategically kept this pond here because the pond is small one. So if there is direct sunlight on it, the water temperature can easily rise and that can kill the fish. In other words, if there is direct sunlight, the water inside will get hot and kill the fish. But the fish also need sunlight to grow or for better performance. So covering it completely is also ideal. So thank God at this place you have this beautiful garden, and as you can see there's little vegetation. This is cassava, this is plantation, and small mango trees. So we strategically kept it here so that there will be little shade to protect the excessive sunlight, and it will not also cover it completely where the fish will not get sunlight at all to grow. So when you are setting up your small backyard farm like this, please take notes and do the needful so that you will not have your fish die because of excessive sunlight, and you will also have your fish stuck in grow because of no sunlight. Thank you. Please subscribe to this channel, share the video.